Hey guys, sorry I didn't get to a video yesterday. It's been busy. In fact, I wouldn't rely on regular videos until Turning Point comes out. But I do kind of feel bad, so I'm going to take the moment to talk about something that I was doing as well as Turning Point. I did some audio tracks on Turning Point, I worked on some lightsaber sound effects, and then I had the urge to go upstairs and keep working on a story I was writing. It's called Burnt Skies Contact. Now let's rewind for a bit and talk about the context behind Burnt Skies Contact. In high school, I was writing a story called Otherworlds 1 First Contact. It was a sci-fi, pulpy, not very good. Like, I look back on it and it's like, oh, that's unfortunate because it was around the time that I had read Battlefield Earth and thought that it was good literature. Which, don't get me wrong, I enjoy it. I enjoy the story. I'm talking about the book, not the movie. I enjoy the story, but it is not good literature. It is good pulp science fiction. Anyway, I never finished First Contact, and years later, I would pick up a hard copy of it. I had printed up a paperback draft on Cafe Press because I could. And I picked that up and I went through it and I read and I was like shaking my head at so much, but at the same time I kept reading, not because I wanted to see what Trainwreck was next, but because I was interested in the story. And when it got to the point that I had stopped writing, the story was about, hey, here's these aliens over there and they have a war brewing, and they look around in the skies and say, who's around here that could probably help us? Oh, those guys look like they're on a good path. Those guys being us. And they come and they visit, and we've got our 12 starfighters, because that's a natural progression. We have 12 starfighters, and that's it. To combat asteroids. Instead of building laser weapons in orbit or something, we had 12 starfighters. I was in high school, what do you want? And I really liked the X-Wing books from Star Wars. That was also a big influence on the whole thing. It was very Starfighter based. So we send the 12 starfighters after much ham-handed political intrigue, again stemming from what I gleaned from Battlefield Earth and from Star Wars Episode 1. Trade Federation, thank you. And sent the starfighters, and there's a xenophobe on the team who at one point is like, screw this, I'm out, during an attack on their base, and he hops in his ship and goes, and the commander climbs in his ship to follow, and I don't know what happens next. I've never known what happens next. I didn't know when I was writing it, that's why I stopped, and I wanted to know. At this point I'm not going to complete that story. That story's has too many fundamental flaws with the concept of aliens come to Earth and say, hey, help us. But I found that the nugget of the idea could be revisited in Burnt Skies. Burnt Skies started life as an idea for a movie by Jess Sayer. And she came to me and said, hey, I'm putting together this science fiction starfighter movie, a script that we may not be able to produce because that stuff's hard, but what are your thoughts? I was like, that's awesome. She gave me the very basic outline that she had. These people who are veterans from a war 5 years ago that the rebels won go to this planet that was once rich and is now destitute and have these adventures. And I said, oh, that's great. Is everyone human? Are there aliens? Are all the aliens like humans? Are there weird, grotesque, Lovecraftian horror aliens? Is it part of a galaxy? Is it a solar system? Is it the whole galaxy? Is it multiple galaxies? I had all these questions, and she was just, I don't know, what do you think? And from there, I want to say at least 75% being me, coming up with ideas, bouncing them off of her, taking them back and putting them in. And it's an amalgamation of like some Star Wars, some Mass Effect, some, God, I don't even know. And among the things that I snuck in there was this alien race that's isolated, that is pretty much a direct copy of the Sedans from Other Worlds 1 First Contact. They called them the Melnar. They're great big manta rays or devil rays, and their ships look exactly like them. They've got like flexible armor and such, and ships move too, flappy. I snuck that in there, not with the intent to recreate First Contact, but like, I have this unused idea, I should use it. So it's got a lot of sci-fi that I enjoy that kind of went into this universe, cribbing from a bunch of stuff, but in the end making something that I felt was nice and unique. As for Burnt Skies itself, the movie, there was a hard drive crash and the script was lost. Back your stuff up. And she decided to take and start rewriting it as a novel. I don't think there's been any progress on that lately. I know it's not released. I don't know, whatever. I enjoyed it so much that I wanted to write something in it. I started writing a story about a starship bridge crew as opposed to starfighters. Kind of like Star Trek, you follow around the captain and the people on the bridge crew as they go around and fight a couple battles and end up fighting in what is the last battle of that big civil war. I enjoyed it. It was a short, like 5-chapter novella. And I decided, you know what, I can self-publish this, that's fine. And that's right here. That's Firestorm. Fun fact, Firestorm is the name of the model of Starfighter in First Contact. But anyway, unrelated. It's Firestorm. This is the bridge cruise and stuff, and I had fun putting this together. This is available to be bought on CreateSpace. I'll put the link in the description below. Just like a 5-chapter short novella on a bridge crew as they fight in the war. Give some more backstory. Every time I write something, I put more into my master document. And then, I wanted to have spine art here, so I needed to fill more pages to do so on CreateSpace. So I wrote something that was from the other point of view during one of those battles, the enemy's point of view, and I enjoyed doing that. And then just to fill in the last few things, I put in some data on species and planets just to fill it up, and it was fun. I enjoy this. Andrew Hookway. I enjoy this very much. The setting. In addition, I also made my own role-playing game system. Now, I'd been a part of a Star Wars role-playing game, and along the way we had hijacked a Star Destroyer and gotten a couple big battles with it. And if you think about how many guns are on a Star Destroyer, it takes a very, very, very long time to resolve even one round of battle. And I said to myself, space battles should be easy. So I made an RPG from the ground up on space battles. And I decided to set it in the Burnt Skies setting. Because the idea of the one main forward gun that actually you would see in Halo, that's where I cribbed that from. One main forward gun and then a bunch of other smaller guns, and it was your main attack is the one, and then you can use these others as attack. And I made the RPG, and I've played it a few times. One of the times that I played, I even took the resulting group that became a shipping company, salvage company, pirate company, and made it actually canon. Because I can do that, because I made it. So I was like, Rise from the Ashes, it's canon. And that's a lot of fun. I actually plan on doing another playtest at the end of this month when a friend is in town. And potentially looking into cleaning that up and publishing the PDF of that. Maybe even a soft cover player's guide. I think that could be a lot of fun. If you're interested in that, if you're interested in the RPG, let me know. If more people show interest, then I'll definitely publish it. So that brings us to Contact. Last year, I got the itch to start writing again before we got into wedding season, and I lost free time. And I revisited the idea of first contact, that these aliens would go to our known civilization and say, we need help with a war. And those aliens, that were the Sedans in Otherworlds 1, First Contact, I had already copied over as the isolationist Melnar for Burnt Skies. Perfect. I could recycle some more. They come over and, hey, we need help with our interstellar war. So now in Contact, the Melnar go to government space, which is human, Gynok, Gabon, Zilkra, Fororn, and other species whose names I can't remember. Zilkra, Melnar, Fororn. Yeah, that's pretty much all of them. Yeah. Goes into government space and says, so I know we'd be, and goes to some pirate groups. Instead of going to the government and being like, hey, help us with a war and we'll totally owe you one, they go to a bunch of pirate groups and say, help us with a war, you'll get money. And they're like, yeah. So it's told from the perspective of fighter pilots, kind of returning to Burnt Sky's roots of being fighter pilots, and returning to the roots of First Contact that was all about starfighter combat. So I wrote that. I wrote a couple chapters. I find I'm really good at setting up a story. I've got another one that's like an experiment in writing second person that goes right up until wham line, and then I didn't know where to actually go with the story. But I'm really good at setting up a story. So I went back to this setup, and last night I went back to it and just started writing more. And at this point, I'm hoping to just write a few pages every night, after doing sound effects work or visual effects work or something. And I enjoy writing. And I really don't do so as much as I would like to. It's something that I enjoy. I enjoy reading, and don't as much as I should with that either. And I enjoy science fiction. Yeah, I play a lot of science fiction games and stuff. But I think writing and of course reading is something I'm going to try to get into more. So that's what I was doing last night instead of posting a video. And that's the background behind Burnt Skies. If you're interested in Firestorm, it's $7.99 plus probably tax and shipping. It's through CreateSpace, which is an Amazon company. So I'll link the CreateSpace link. I get a few more cents from. But if you're lazy, you can just search for it on Amazon or any affiliates that will go through there. I think at one point it was listed on the Target website. So yeah, if you're interested in that, that's Firestorm. If you're interested in the RPG system that I've created and just haven't published, let me know, and I'll look into publishing that. Yeah, just let me know your interest, because the more people are interested in something, hopefully the more I'll actually work on it, which isn't always a guarantee. Cough, cough, Mirror's Edge breach contract, but still. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. I really don't have much of a sign-off plan for this, so I'll just say, read, kids. It's a lot of fun. It can bring you to fun new places, and who knows, it can spark some creativity within yourself to write some of those new places that maybe I would like to read about. So keep reading and keep watching. Subscribe, follow on Facebook, Twitter, and all that nice stuff. And I'll see you guys hopefully next week. As I said, Turning Point is taking up a lot of time, but certainly by the time October rolls around, we will start seeing regular updates with Boater Plays Something and so on and so forth. So I'll see you guys whenever. Have a good one.